I know. Well, this area is about 8 hectares here, and up until 2 years ago we were cropping it with barley, but there'd only be a little bit would actually grow, and there'd be lots of areas that there wasn't much barley had ever come up. And where you're looking now, there used to be a bit of barley, and then a bit further round there'd be none, and so we decided that we'd plant it down with saltbush. So we planted it down to Rivermore, because I reckon that the Rivermore is more likely to do better on this country than Old Man, because it seems to be able to handle waterlogging and more saline conditions better, and also with its spreading habit it catches anything that blows through. So we got it established 2 years ago, so that was July 2008, and then it did fairly well, and so did the Iceplant in the interrows, because Iceplant tends to grow in a vacuum, so there was nothing else there. And 2009 we had a group of people came looking at what we were doing and so on, and Dr. Nick Edwards was there. He was in that group, and he was talking scimitar and cavalier. I didn't even know what scimitar was at that stage. I had an idea that cavalier was a clover, but I thought scimitar was a grass. That's how ignorant I was. Anyway, we sort of thought a little bit about it, but the big problem was the Iceplant, because it, as you can see, it was just absolutely out of control. And so in September 2009 we sprayed it with 5 grams of glean, straight over the top of the saltbush, straight over everything, and it had absolutely no impact on the saltbush whatsoever. And 5 grams of glean, I'm not exactly certain what that cost, but it's only cents per hectare. It's not a big cost. We actually reckon that it probably costs more if you're using scheme water. It probably costs more to fill your boom up with the water than it does to put the chemical in. And just sprayed straight over the top, just at flowering, and it's done a magnificent job. Behind where we're standing there's a control area, and there was a bit of seed set there. But here you could actually pick the colour, the difference, because this all went a sort of a purpley colour, and it dried out. But the problem was then, yes, we know how to control the Iceplant, but the best way to control Iceplants is to get something growing, because it doesn't compete. And so it was the 1st and 2nd of July, I think it was, that we seeded this with a great big monstrous seeder that had 6 tines on it, and you can see the little narrow rows there, and it was seeded with some scimitar, some tall wheatgrass, some safeguard ryegrass, and we also put some cavalier in with about I can't remember if it was 90 kilos or 100 kilos to the hectare of wheatgrass, which is what we had left in the shed. And so now it's going to be really interesting to see what actually happens, but I think it was about 4 days prior to us seeding it, I sprayed it with half a litre of glyphosate straight over the top of everything at 60 litres to the hectare of water, and because there was a little bit of Iceplant, just tiny little Iceplant that was coming through, and just looking now it seems to have had a pretty good success rate in the kill. But yeah, I'm really quite excited about this. I'm hopeful that the medics will do okay. I don't really think the tall wheatgrass will grow that well, but I'm sort of hopeful that the safeguard ryegrass might do a bit as well. And so I was really nervous. I never put any sheep in here last year to graze it because I was concerned about the chance of sheep dying with the Iceplant. But if we can get something else growing here now, there's really good feed here with all this saltbush, and so if we can get something in the interrows, then this sort of country, because it's been cropped up until just 2 years ago, should be still fairly fertile, and with any luck we'll have a nice green stand of clover here in the not too distant future. Well, going to be a couple of months yet. Need a bit of warmth and a bit of sunlight, and we've had since we planted it we've had about 30 mils of rain up here, so within about 3 days of us finishing planting it, we've had 30 mils of rain. So that couldn't have planned that better if we'd have ordered it. But yeah, I really think that sites like this have got a really big future. I hope anyway, while the price of sheep stays where they are. It's something that's well and truly worth having a crack at. And on